On to health issues. The Member of Parliament's Health Committee and Member of Parliament for Agotimi Iziope, Charles Agbevi, has added his voice to calls by some CSOs for Ghana to establish a public health emergency fund to adequately deal with disease outbreaks. The call, which is being led by Send Ghana and Global Health Advocacy Incubator, is intended to ensure adequate preparedness and response to disease outbreaks.
The call for the establishment of a public health emergency fund comes at the back of recent global disease outbreaks, particularly the deadly COVID-19 pandemic, which exposed the gaps in the country's public health systems. Ghana may have responded to these disease outbreaks, but a WHO joint external evaluation assessment of Ghana's capacity to prevent, detect, and rapidly respond to public health risk done in 2017 shows that on a scale of 1 to 5, Ghana scored 2 in the technical area of national legislation, policy, and financing. As a result, recommendations were made for the government to establish a public health emergency fund to improve the country's prevention and response capacities, but that has not yet been implemented. Reacting to the call, Member of Parliament for Agotimi Iziope, Charles Agbevi, who is also a member of Parliament's Health Committee, indicated his support for the call.
I am not surprised that the coalition is making this request because African countries were very exposed. Even the Western world could not cope with the numbers that were coming to their hospitals. So they could envisage what will happen in Africa, and that was why they were spelling doom the case of Africa. But somehow, I would say there's something significant happened in Africa. We were saved. We couldn't have the kind of numbers that were dying, numbers that were getting infected. But it was a wake-up call for us to actually sit up and prepare.
Experts have indicated that countries with low preparedness rating risk having ineffective responses to disease outbreaks, which could put pressure on their healthcare system. But the MP believes a public health emergency fund would help address the public health infrastructure and logistical issues that currently confront Ghana's health sector.
Governments in the world, in Africa, should spend 15% of their budget on health. That's the total budget, 15%. And they believe that when they spend that amount of money, it will go a long way to improve, 1, infrastructure, 2, services, 3, all other things related to health provision for our people, and on a sustainable basis.
For the Ghana Coalition of NGOs in Health, the idea is laudable. Victor Ata-Ntumi, a council member of the coalition, however, called for broader consultation to ensure the realization of the call.
It's part of our advocacy strategy, and we need to engage Parliament so that these funds will not be commingled with our consolidated fund. That is the only way we can set up these funds for them to work for the reason for which we want it.
In a bid to intensify the call on government, Send Ghana is undertaking broader stakeholder consultations involving the Ministries of Health and Finance, the Ghana Health Service, the WHO, the National Center for Early Warning and Response Mechanism, the COVID-19 Trust Fund, and other relevant professional bodies to discuss the proposal for the establishment of the Public Health Emergency Fund, its framework, and the necessary recommendations to be made for government's consideration. For GH1 News, Faisal Abdul Idrisu.
You're watching News